Hello, trading has closed on the 7th of December, 2023. As always, we'll do our disclaimer first, go over our calls, and make some predictions. This is my trading plan for tomorrow, which is the 8th of December, 2023. Please remember I can be wrong, and all trades should be made at your own risk. Look for the pattern with the early high, which is this. Tomorrow should be the pattern with the early low. We viewed yesterday's action as quite negative. We said all we needed for confirmation would be to have a trade 1 cent under yesterday's close. And on the other hand, we said if you were a bull, you really had to gap up smartly and maintain the gap. Well, of course, that's what happened. It's a reminder of what we said. During the day, MEJT give a few signals that give an ultimate high signal here, and that certainly worked. There was also an optional lower target that we traded under this line, and that worked quite well. These moves were called false moves, and the price did retrace. Have a strong rally. Here's the close under all these highs. It's not a good pattern if you don't take this high out early tomorrow. Ideally, by gapping over it, you should see lower prices. That doesn't mean that you close lower. Now back over this trend line that we've been showing, so there was no confirmation of this break. We're still looking for a move 230 points or so over that red trend line. We can hit that tomorrow at 46.01 cash. That's really 15.5 points from here. It's not too far. And even if we open down, it's a reasonable target. It's a target. It's not a stop and reverse. Let's take a look at what's going on inside here, because this isn't the easiest wave structure for me to count. I'll show you what I've come up with. We'll start from here. Here's 5 waves down. Since then we've had an ABC, we're calling that, well, this moved down 5 waves, we'll call brown A. We have an ABC with good fibs, we'll call that red A and brown B. Here's your B. And now we have a wave red C, which is equal to red A, and if that's the right count, you've completed wave brown B, and if that's the right count, you should have a brown C, which has some kind of Fibonacci relationship with brown A, so you can draw your Fibonacci grid and get some potential price targets for the move down, if in fact that's the right count. That's a valid count, but we don't know if it's the right count, but if it drops, it's a good working count. Now we had an inverted diamond on stilts. Here's the first test of the origin of the left stilt. Here's the next test. This has a tendency to break lower in grand style. All you needed was to get confirmation. It didn't break lower in grand style. And when these things fail, they tend to fail big time. That doesn't mean we go up tomorrow, but it does mean I would like any wave brown C to fall short of these lows, the origin of the left stilt. Now I don't always get what I want, but since I'm planning this for tomorrow and not trading it yet, I would like to see a wave C down, which stops at the Fibonacci relationship to wave A down, and then reverse and go up. Tomorrow's pattern does have a tendency to have an early low and a late high, and I'd like us to make the early low before retesting these levels, because if they retest the levels, it tends to be a big drop. Let's see how this pattern fits in with a larger time frame. I think it's possible to call this wave 1 and wave 2 and this wave 3. Here's where the last chart started. And here's your A and there's your B. And if that's right, we should drop here and have a wave C. If that's the extent of this, and if that's the fourth wave, you can see that wave 4 would be exactly equal to wave 2. And if that's right, you'll see wave 1 is exactly equal to wave 3. Doesn't make it the only count, but if we get a drop here tomorrow, which doesn't retest this low and then reverse, I think we're in store for a wave 5 up, which I would think would be a reasonably good wave. It's a plan. Don't forget it's not carved in stone, but it's a reasonable working plan. Tomorrow's pattern has a really low regardless of where we open. There's an economic report coming out before the open about jobs that may affect the accuracy of any prediction. The market needed only to get follow-through from yesterday's drop to justify the start of a sizable decline. Not only did it fail to do that, but sentiment indicators, which have been arguing against a further market advance, now are neutral. When good setups fail, and that was a good setup, they tend to fail bad. So if we drop early tomorrow and maintain this week's low, it would create a wave count which would justify another leg of the advance. We're close to going 230 handles over the trend line. We'll hit it at 46.01 cash if it prints tomorrow. There may be resistance there, but that number's a target. It's not a stop and reverse. It doesn't mean it won't stop and reverse. It just isn't obligated to. So we have a plan. Certainly isn't a guarantee, and certainly the economic report can change things tomorrow. But it is the pattern with the early low. Tends to be a rally day. If it isn't a strong day tomorrow by the close, there tends to be more weakness coming up. So we'll see what happens, and that's today's call.